Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review the new thriller, Payback. And no, not the Mel Gibson Payback. This new Payback from 2021 is from director Joseph Mensch, starring Matt Levitt. And this film is about a man who, because of a decision that he makes, and he's a stockbroker, winds up going to prison and comes out looking for revenge for what put him in there. And this man has a family, he has a wife, he has a baby girl, and now he's putting that all on the line to get revenge on the men that put him in prison and got him there. There's nothing else much to this film besides that. And that's the tricky thing. This is a 90-minute film, and for a thriller, didn't really have a whole lot of thrills. It's very slow moving. There's a few moments of violence and bursts of action, but very far and few between. So there's not a whole lot of energy going on here. Mensch kind of just presents this very level feeling film. There's not a whole lot of excitement when there is some action. It's a little over edited, or it's just very quick, like somebody gets shot and there's maybe 10-second spurt of violence going on. So it's not really action, it's more violence. And it's done in a really quick edited way, and then it's boom, it's done. So you don't really get a whole lot of that going for this film. And you have your main character who's a stockbroker, which in general isn't the most sympathetic profession in movies. He puts his family in danger. He cheats on his wife. You don't really feel a whole lot of sympathy for this guy, and it's hard for you to care. And as this film goes on, you're just do I care about him getting revenge? It's I don't really particularly like him, and he's doing these things, putting his wife at risk, his child at risk, his father at risk, and basically the only other people in this film that are relatively of recognizable. But you have Toby Leonard Monroe, who's in Daredevil and John Wick, who plays his co-worker, stockbroker. His dad is played by Raid Zebedzija, who was in Eyes Wide Shut and Batman Begins. And this film is just kind of blah and forgettable. And even just an hour after watching this movie, having trouble even thinking of any particular moment that really stuck out to me. I know towards the end of the film, he makes some decisions that really kind of bury all the sympathy that I had, even though it's just a little bit, for this character. So by the end, when he gets his revenge, and it's setting up this idea, and he's talking to this one mobster, which this was an interesting piece of dialogue of, it's this isn't the end for you, this is just the beginning, and you get the sense of are we going to get Payback 2? Pay forward? And now he's on the offense, and it's just I guess this film feels like a descent, a watch of a descent of a character into this crime person, and you're sitting there just thinking I don't really care about this person enough, and now you're basically going to be a criminal. And just by the end, wasn't the hugest fan of this film, and I didn't really get a whole lot of thrills or emotional connections, and it just feels kind of disposable and forgettable, and I'm really not going to remember Payback within probably by the time I wake up tomorrow. And that's disappointing. And I feel even if something's really bad, but you remember it and have some interesting things to say about it, I just feel this movie's kind of just a throwaway. And not even an interest, it caught my attention enough to just stream it and watch it. No, I just really didn't grab my attention. And that's a big concern for a thriller. But you know what? Those are my thoughts on Payback. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.